Welcome back to Talking Lead. It's episode 81.
Ocho uno.
Did you go get it all in Spanish now?
I did.
Do everyone in Spanish?
Well, I just don't know what zero. I don't know how you say zero in Spanish.
We do have a lot of Latin followers, so
Do we really?
yeah.
Or do you have
According
a
to Facebook.
lot of people in Latin territory?
Well, yeah.
That would just be numero ochenta then.
Ochenta?
That's
The
80.
zero?
That's 80.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we were trying to figure, where were you last
we were
week?
calling it Ocho Cero.
There was a Ocho Zero.
That's close.
Ocho Nada.
And we have a special guest host. We're taking turns with family members coming on. We had Left Hand's brother on last year.
Yeah. We
And-
had P-Dog on one episode.
He's your family member?
Oh, no, he's not family. But
Oh.
he's like family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, crap, I got to find somebody else to go now. And my sister, Sarah, is
Hello.
here in town.
Syra.
I'm here.
She's from the great...
Syra, can you patch me into, what's that town Andy O needed to get patched into?
Mount Carmel?
Mount Pilot.
Mount Pilot.
Syra, can you patch me into Mount Pilot?
And
Talking way over my head. I don't know what you
Oh, you know who Andy Griffith is. You watch,
Oh,
you watch the Andy
I didn't
Griffith
know
show.
there was a character named Sarah on there.
She was the,
She was the
The, the switchboard operator.
Yeah.
Oh,
You never
okay.
saw her, but they always talked to her on the
Oh, I never
phone.
caught her name.
yeah,
Mayberry. Yeah, Syra. It's Syra.
Sabra.
Cool.
And we'll talk to her a little bit about her gun background and stuff. She was in the Air Force, and you made it all the way to first lieutenant.
Yes, all the way, one rank. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good job.
Woo!
But she's here from the great state of California. Because her husband is still in the Air Force, and they're stationed.
We need to
there
get her hooked up with those new guys that have started following us. The California.
the gun rights across. Or
Wait, no, hold on, let me
America.
pull them up. No, they've been posting on our Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I talked to the guy on the phone too. They've started a new YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
They're young guys. I mean, they're just getting into it, but they're very enthusiastic. And
Let's find out if they're not psycho before we hook my sister
Well,
up.
Are they
Yeah,
military?
But as long as they turn out to be cool guys, we may have them do some special reports from the California
Okay.
state.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
So what'd you do with guns this week, man? Anything? At all? Hello?
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
One,
yeah.
two.
I'm on a mission. Hold on.
From God.
I got to find out what the name of these dudes are. So, hold on.
Left Hand has an issue with when he has to Google something on the show, everything stops until he finds it. Googles it.
He's a man. That's
Yes.
that's kind of our role.
Yeah.
We're not efficient
When you
multitaskers.
get something,
Agreed.
Wait.
nobody jerked your chain.
Okay, my sister's in the room.
That's who I was talking to. I was just talking to her.
Well, while you're Googling, I'll go ahead and introduce our other guest.
Why does Facebook suck?
Because it does.
It's
Because
closed
it's based
this.
in California.
Is that what it is? It's closed this out on me twice already. As I'm. All right, Concealed California with a K. That's the name of those guys. So
Clever.
there you go.
So I guess I might as well introduce our guest, even though you found it.
So
We have Sherman House here. And you say you go by Sherm?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Thank you.
But it reminds me of... Did you ever see Friday?
Sure.
You know,
Big Sherm.
Big Perm.
Big Worm.
Big
Yeah.
Worm. Big Worm.
Yeah, of course.
I think Big Sherm.
Big Sherm.
And
Yeah. And he is a big guy.
You're well known for your blog, which is...
Revolver Science.
Okay, which is cool because I'm kind of a Revolver guy at heart, and we've never done a Revolver show, so I'm kind of excited about this.
All right.
But
to
you
clarify,
also...
they don't just do revolvers.
Sure.
We do everything. Yeah.
Gotcha. And you used to train with Tactical Response also?
Yeah, I was
One of the instructors?
the medical program director at Tactical Response for about 6 years.
And when you say you do other things, what do you do on your blog? What do you talk about? What do you get into? Obviously, you're probably getting into the scientific.
Yeah,
aspects of-
yeah, exactly. More objective because if you there's a lot of gun blogs out there, that are really equipment centric. I mean, obviously, that's the nature of it.
Right.
But they're kind of, if you read one, you've read them all because it's like some dude says, "Hey, I've got this new gun. It holds this many shots. The barrel's this long, and it weighs this much." And feels really good in the hand.
Very little recoil.
Very little recoil.
Nice trigger. Nice trigger.
Yeah, it's got a real nice trigger, and all that stuff is subjective, And they say, it's really concealable and stuff like that. And when you think about it in practical terms, a gun that is maybe really concealable for you doesn't fit in our hands good because when like I was just talking the other day about a Glock 42.
When he says you, he's pointing at Sarah, the female in the room.
And
Who's bigger than Marty, by the way?
When I shoot that
His
thing,
hands are bigger than mine. Yeah.
when I shoot that thing, thumbs forward, my forward thumb goes about an inch past the muzzle.
Yeah.
So for somebody that's smaller, that would be a great gun.
Sure.
It fits their hand fine. But for everybody, it's not necessarily the same kind of thing. So I kind of thought, well, I'm actually classically trained as a scientist. That's what I went to school for. So I thought, hey, we can kind of inject some
Pounds
scientific,
on that one.
some scientific method into this thing and make it a little more empirical. And it's really hard to have anything be journalistic and be completely empirical, but
Sure.
I give it a shot. And the whole reason I started this blog in the first place was a few years back. Paul Gomez and I were teaching a class, and there was two police officers in the class that were from the Metro PD there in the area we were teaching, and they were great shooters, with their Glock 22s, and they had real good form. They shot everything to good standards and stuff, and at some point we ended up talking about J-frame revolvers, Smith & Wesson J-frame revolver,
Right.
and I took one out, and I think Paul had one also, and they were looking at it, and they had no idea how to open the cylinder on this thing. And I mean, they literally they held it, and
And you're laughing.
they were like
These
pushing
are Metro cops.
like looking around on it, like how I don't know how to do this thing, and
Wow.
and nobody wants to go like, hey, I have no idea how to do that either, because everybody's in a class and everybody wants to be that macho action figure guy. So some other people came over and they're like, hey, I have no idea how to do this either. And so we kind of gave like a little 5-minute tutorial on how you safely open a revolver and clear it, and then reload it if you need to. And so I realized at that point, like, holy smoke, like there's a whole bunch of knowledge out there that really maybe is kind of just fallen by the wayside because
People take for granted, yeah.
people take for granted, and unless you were, of age or, a student of law enforcement or, in the 80s or the early 90s, then you kind of miss that whole thing. Like, you might not even remember a time where police officers carried revolvers.
Right.
And so I thought, wow, we really got to do something about this. And then I realized that the guys that teach revolvers are getting older, and they're getting to the point where now they're like, well, I'm not teaching anymore. And these are the guys that kind of made up a lot of this stuff.
Sure.
Or some of them have already passed away. So I thought, boy, we need to start like kind of writing this stuff down. So I started to do that. And then I thought, boy, there's so many other things I like to talk about too. Why not just kind of inject that same methodology into everything else? So a lot of the stuff I do is a comparison, and it's an obvious thing where you go, oh, duh, like a 5-shot revolver is obviously inferior to a shield, a Smith & Wesson shield, right?
Sure.
But how many of us go like, hey, I got to run to the grocery store really quick. Let me put my shield in my pocket and run to the grocery store. Like, nobody does that. You know that you're putting an inferior gun into your pocket, but you do it anyway. Why? Like, what's the deal with it? Why do we love revolvers so much? And I think that there's a whole bunch of reasons why, and that's one of the things that I write about.
Well, maybe you'll help me figure out why I do, because I've never understood that either. I don't know if it's looks, feels, what, but I just enjoy shooting revolvers.
Well, I think a lot of
Maybe it
it.
was the first pistol I had.
Yeah.
Well, no, I bought the Lorson first. Maybe it was the first pistol I bought since my new evolution of gun ownership.
Yeah. Well,
As you keep hypothesizing as to why that is.
Yeah, I think
go
that
to our
there's
guest.
kind of a reverse. I call it like a reverse rationalization that goes on with folks that are really active in the gun community, because you're constantly inundated. It used to just be print media, but now it's online stuff too, and Facebook stuff. And if you're active in social media with gun stuff, then it's just always kind of hitting you. And,
Right.
and all of us go like, oh my god, like if I'm going to be prepared, I need to have a 18-shot semi-automatic pistol and 2 spare magazines on me at all times. So I need to have 54 rounds ready.
Yeah, well, it's
And-
like
and-
an article that I read today by Paul Carlson, where he says, firearms have become a fashion statement
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's having the latest and greatest and
Yeah.
flashiest kind of thing. And
Yeah.
revolvers have kind of, like you said, they aren't hip anymore.
Exactly. And it's kind of conversely to that is that a lot of the problems that any of us is likely to find ourselves in could really be easily solved with a 5-shot revolver or like a 7-shot Ruger LCP.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, cut and dry. Like carjacking, got it. ATM robbery, got it. Convenience store robbery, got it. Any of those things could be handled by that gun and efficient or even inefficient ammunition and a little bit of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's not like it's the 1997 North Hollywood shootout where there's
most of your encounters aren't
hundreds of rounds exchanged, of lone civilian against armed gunmen.
It's a lot of moon clips.
Exactly.
And I can tell you, if I ever come across anybody that's that well armed,
you're better.
I'm running. I'm going.
Well, those guys had time to go to Big Fives. Those cops had time to go to Big Five and get AR-15s and stuff and go back and still get to fight.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in that situation,
background checks
either go buy some guns real quick and get back there and continue to fight it, or just go home.
Yeah.
And hole up there.
Good luck, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get an AR. I'll be back. Don't go anywhere, guys.
Did you do anything cool with guns this week?
Anything cool with guns? Just, I was telling you guys, just sitting around the house doing the typical dry fire mechanic type stuff. Of course, I haven't.
Speaking of which, I think you've gone 2 weeks more.
I don't have it.
You don't?
No, you've got it.
I've got it?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be in our gearbox.
I don't have the cert, baby. I don't have the cert. But
Poop.
something cool that has happened this week in guns is our buddy and sponsor Rob Pincus was on Fox and Friends today, August the 7th, 2014. What?
I'm just thinking of that whole interaction with the host.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing. Well,
Tell the
I'm
meat
going to
and
commend.
potatoes
I'm
of
going to
it.
commend Fox and Friends for even.
No, yeah, it was great that they did that.
covering the subject matter.
Yeah.
But it was really good. But no, they had Rob on, and they were demonstrating safe firearm storage in your. Basically, they just had a little bedroom set up, and Rob gave 3 different scenarios of how you might possibly store your firearm. So it's kind of stepping its way up. So he started off with just a regular old gun box.
If you don't have kids.
Under the bed, then that's the thing. So what they did was they were timing him to see how quickly he could get from a prone position in the bed to the firearm once an intruder or he heard an alarm or something. He was alarmed. So first one he did had the unlock box underneath the bed, pulled it out. I think it was like 6 seconds or something like that. And all the guns were safe guns. I think that one was a cert pistol that he had. And so, that was, and he pointed out that, this is probably not the best solution, but if you're single, don't have kids, or whatever, no kids in the house, it's a viable option. It's a viable gun safe storage kind of option. So then they go to scenario 2, where you've got a one of those combination safes, the finger combination safes, pressure pad, and it was in the nightstand
top drawer.
So again, from the prone position, they time him, and again, it was about 6 seconds. It was an unloaded gun, him loading it, getting it ready, and then I also will point out that he did mention that once you get your firearm ready position, you grab the phone and you call 911. So he did point that out. And then option 3 was a biometric safe, and he was pointing out, how you do that. They didn't really at this time, like I said, running out of time or whatnot, but they had shown the biometric, pop it out, and the host eagerly grabbed the gun and
Rob briskly said,
briskly and alertly took it away. It's an unloaded gun, it's a training gun and whatnot, but showed him how to put it away safely, and that was the show. But he did an excellent job representing the firearms community and pointing out some excellent safe storage options that you could use in different scenarios.
Yep.
And then I also have to commend him on his product placement of his book on the nightstand.
Yeah, that's nice. that was slick.
That was very cool too.
Well, I have been actively talking about the VP9 on the show.
Yes,
for
you
about
have.
a month now.
Yes, you have.
And
not only have you been talking about it, but you've actively been pursuing.
That's where I'm going with it.
HK.
And I called a good friend of ours. He's been on the show, Joe Stopiello from Dakota Tactical. I said, hey, do you have any connections with HK? I'd like to get a T&E in. He's like, absolutely. Within a day, had the email, sent the email to the person that had gave it to me, and we are getting a VP9 in the mail to T&E.
Sweet.
With the option to buy afterwards if we like it.
And just to note, we still haven't received the Lionheart LH9. So, Lionheart, suck it.
You want me to put that in?
Yeah, absolutely. Leave it in. Absolutely.
I got the email stating that we were going to get one, and I'm pumped about that, which is kind of going to lead into what you did with guns this week, Sherm.
Yeah, I did get a VP9 this week, and not a T&E one. I had to, pay for it. Yeah, so which is cool in a way because I don't T&E anything on my site. Like all that stuff, I actually pay for. That way, like. If it sucks, like I tell people it sucks, and I don't feel bad about it because there's a lot
You
of
actually T&E it, but you pay for it.
Yeah. And I mean, say the VP9 sucked,
right.
Like I could turn around and sell it tomorrow for probably $750 or $800 because they're not that common right now.
Yeah, we just sent it
they're
back.
kind of a hot.
Yeah, exactly. And then everybody goes, "How was it?" And I'm like, it sucked. Like
I sold it.
I sold it. Yeah,
but
Sold it, made
but
$10.
it doesn't suck. It's pretty cool. It's like if I had to liken it to anything, it's like if it's an HK. Like if you put it in your hand and you were blindfolded, you'd be like, "Oh, this is an HK."
But as far as looks, feel, and everything, when I saw it, I was like, "That is a Walther PPQ."
Yeah,
see, I think P30. Is it more like the P30 bottom?
It looks very similar to a P30. Yeah, and all of those German guns all have like a similar lineage. Like I think the Germans.
Just the shape of the handle, if you put them side by side, it's almost like
they're pretty
silhouette.
similar. Yeah, and it's a cool gun. I mean, I really, comparing that to like a full size M&P or a Glock 17, it's, I think it's, it won't be long until police departments will start.
You're going to love it because it's
stuff.
like your Mr. 40.
Right, and see, that's what I'm excited about. Because I had one of the Magnum Research Mr. 40 Eagles. I love that gun. All it was is a Walther PP.
Walther PP.
Or P99.
P99,
Yeah,
which is another spin of the PPQ.
I was dead on accurate with it. Which, compared to the Glock, I'm not as accurate with the Glock. But I loved that gun, and I ended up selling it to get a Glock 19.
Right.
Because I didn't want to go to Jaeger's course and get yelled at, because I had a stupid gun.
But you got yelled out anyway because you overlubed
I overlubed it and had a malfunction with my Glock.
Oh, yeah, got gummed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody was going, "Oh, Glock 19's having a malfunction." He goes, No. Come over here.
Yeah.
And he pulled it open and it looked like
he said, "Let
molasses.
me
in there.
educate
okay.
everyone."
Yeah.
He brought
we
the
even
whole
did a
class
video of it.
over, and we're like, "All right, let's film it."
3 drops.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was cleaning it like I cleaned every other gun. Just gunk it up.
Half the bottle.
Yep. Pretty much.
Oh,
you got something to add
I
there,
have 600 rounds through the VP9.
That's what I was going to ask. How many rounds you got?
Didn't
Can
hear.
you not hear? I said you
Yeah.
had something to add over there?
Oh, no.
Jump in at any time, girl.
No, I was back here smirking because I remember y'all's first episode. How
Yeah.
y'all were like, "We don't know anything, so tell us what we're doing wrong, what we're saying wrong. Please correct us. It's not a big deal. We're humble, and no pride." And here you are, like throwing all this out, like PPQ and QRS, and I don't know
TUV.
guns that well.
We don't know what half of it means
it's
still.
cool.
So.
Yeah.
You don't have to put that in.
No, what people
No,
don't
that's
know is
cool.
we're reading a script right now.
All cue cards.
We've got teleprompters.
So you've got 600 rounds through it?
600 rounds.
No malfunctions?
No malfunction.
Awesome. What's the trigger like?
If I had to characterize it, I'd say that it feels like the Glock 34 trigger. The 3.5. Generation 3 type trigger.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is the reset on it feels like the New York 1 trigger. So, if you combine the I guess they call it the minus connector with the New York 1,
Oh, similar to I had this tweaked out.
When you say New York 1, what do you mean?
it's a
Explain.
Is
the,
it like the reset on that? I had that tweaked with a.
yeah.
Yeah, it's shorter.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And he's dry
the-
firing his Glock 34.
Yeah.
the difference is the
I don't want to do anything with it.
It's not loaded.
I know. I still don't want to.
She's been in California too damn long.
So, yeah. You've been
I
out of the
haven't
military
handled
too
my
long,
gun
girl.
in a long time.
the reset's really positive. Like you feel it, actually kind of push your finger back out.
You feel that cold.
How's the break? How's the break?
It's crisp. Like if you actually look at it from the side, like the total trigger movement is probably less than a quarter of an inch. So it's really, really short.
I've got a gun boner right now. I can't wait to get it.
I've talked to two.
Your sister's in the room.
Yeah, two other guys, Spencer Keepers and Shane Gosa, that have in the HKs that they bought that they've already had to like send back because the trigger had some type of take up issue. So
Of the VP9. Okay.
yeah, and I think it had to do with some type of interference on the way that the trigger bar rubs on the inside of the frame.
Okay.
If I remember right. So, but I haven't had that issue, and I think it's actually smoothed up just a little bit. I probably dry fire a couple thousand times at this point, and then put 600 rounds through it. So it's I always kind of like to do that before I go whole hog into a gun and buy a bunch of holsters and mag carriers and 5 or 10 spare mags and all that kind of stuff, just because it's like
Understand that is it the P30s that we said? The mags fit in it.
the mags are the same.
Oh, they
It's
do.
the same
That is the
mags.
same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same holsters. It'll fit the same holsters and everything.
The holster is a little bit different. This gun has a little more behind the barrel because that's where the striker fire mechanism is, as opposed to the
Right.
P30, that actually has a traditional double action.
Yeah.
So this has a little more. And then I believe that there is I think there's a 1/4 inch difference between the front of the trigger guard and the front of the dust cover. So there's a little bit of discrepancy.
Just a little bit.
So if the holster is really, really tightly boned, like a leather holster, it probably won't fit. But if it's a Kydex one or a leather holster that's not like super,
Yeah, a suede or
snug, it'll
something.
fit it. Yeah. So
Nice. Well, I'm hoping. I think the chances are slim because I've heard it takes a while to get one in, but I'm hoping I get it before we go to Circle Wagons because I'd like to use it in some of the trainings we do out there. But speaking of Circle the Wagons,
Speaking of,
everybody out there, go to ironhammerarmory.com. If you're in the Colorado area, Circle the Wagons is
or if
the
you're
end of this
planning on
month.
being in the Colorado area,
Or if you want to fly to the Colorado area just for this, Circle the Wagons is the end of this month. Go to ironhammerarmory.com and sign up. It's $240, but you get
that's $265.
something. It's $200 something dollars,
Hold on.
and you get room clearing classes. You get just regular fighting pistol type classes. You get rifle classes. The whole weekend.
You get
worth
talking
of-
lead, baby.
They'll want to pay
Talking
less.
lead is going to be there
They're
in
gonna,
the house.
They're going to want to pay less.
I'd pay more.
You'd pay more?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
We're going to
Yeah.
be there with our buddy
love my
Jason
sister.
from SDI
Yep. Sonoran Desert Institute.
representing Sonoran Desert
So
Institute.
if you want to go to a really good value for everything that you're going to get to do, there's going to be tons of vendors out there with all kinds of different guns that they're releasing, gear, kit stuff, everything. And you're going to get to try out everything that's out there. It's a really good value for everything that's going to be going on that weekend. So
Yep.
ironhammerarmy.com, and then you can see the Circle the Wagons event.
It's $210.
$210.
$210.
Less than both of us thought. So $210 for all that is pretty dang good. Pretty
And
dang
don't forget
good.
that it is a forward-thinking event.
Yes. Forgot that part.
You can't ever forget that part.
So
You're
now
not
it's
forward
time.
thinking.
Iron Hammer Armory, Rockwell Tactical Group, Canaz Tactical, Sonoran Desert Institute, Dip Wizard Hydrographics, TDS Guns, Dead Coyote, Gunfighters, Elftman Tactical, Enforce, Black Sheep Warrior, Haus of Guns, Haus.
House
Yeah.
in
Haus.
German.
Haus. Landco Tactical, Warrior Labs, and Talking Lead.
Yep. And those We Like Shooting fellows are going to be over there too.
Oh, yeah?
A couple of them, I think. So, anyways, it is time for the Jack Wagon of the Week.
Take it away, Arlie Army. Gunny.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jack Wagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, so this week's Jack Wagon. We've had Marcus Fox on the show. He's not the Jack Wagon. Let me clarify that. Marcus Fox
We're
is
not
a,
leading up to that. He's the
is a good friend of the show, Marine, and relatively new country artist that's climbing up the charts right now pretty quick. I think last time
Yeah,
I
he's
talked to him,
doing
he was
really
in
good.
the 60s. So
He's kicking ass and taking names.
yep. Well, he had a Marine, his platoon reunion this past weekend in Gatlinburg. And they were staying in a cabin.
Great Smoky Mountains.
They were staying in a cabin that's actually in Sevierville address. The second night, I think he said that they were there. Somebody broke into his truck and stole his 1911, his AR, his buddy's SIG, and his shotgun.
And
Some money and some other stuff. They have a suspicion of who it was. We're not going to discuss that, but if you have any information or you've heard, if you're in the East Tennessee area, Gatlinburg, Sevierville, Knoxville, anywhere up in there, Johnson City, and you've heard of anything like that, or you see anybody trying to sell you a cheap AR or a 1911, give the cops in Sevierville a call. The cabin they were staying at was Caney Creek Road. And so if you hear anything along those lines, Sevierville area, please call the cops. And whoever stole that stuff, you're the jackwagon. So welcome to the jackwagon train.
Is he posting pictures of the stuff? Has he got pictures of his?
I don't know, but I'll tell him to. See if he'll post them on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, that way people can identify him when they see
Pretty
him.
sure the 1911 is a Ruger
That's the one he got from
Northside Guns.
Northside Guns.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a Ruger.
Yep. So welcome to the jackwagon.
Did he have a head down
train.
AR?
No, I don't think he had a head down. I can't remember what his AR was. Maybe it's Spikes.
I thought he had a head down.
So anyways, so lady and gentlemen, we ask questions of everybody, and we'll start with Sarah.
You gonna ask all of them this week again?
Yeah, no. I didn't realize I was doing it last week. I was on drugs last week. Over-the-counter cold medicine.
I just clarify. Drink my beer. I'm good.
Clarify. Sarah, how did you originally get into firearms? Because I don't think you ever shot with me when we were kids.
No,
Like, I always did
I
it
had
with-
no clue you had shot and guns.
We
Shot and guns here. That's what I learned. First time I shot a gun was,
I don't think we were ever friends until you started playing basketball.
I don't think we were. I just always wanted to tell on you,
Make crap up. Gosh.
even with basketball.
No, you start playing. We start getting
Yeah.
along better.
Have we clarified the age difference? She's
5 years younger than me.
5 years younger than.
Mm-hmm.
She was a little brat, but she's cool now.
I was not a brat. That is a brother's perspective. Sheesh.
I remember being in the neighborhood and like her saying, "I'm going to go tell mom you did this," and totally making it up, and then smiling on the porch. But I found out later, as we were adults, she never really told mom. But
Never.
I went sprinting over there,
That's the cool part.
freaking out. That was cool, but it wasn't then.
Didn't phase you though.
No.
You kept playing.
Well, you don't know that I cry myself to sleep every night.
All right. So the first time you shot a gun was
Yes.
squirrel.
I really think it was in the ROTC training, I guess,
Really?
when I made marksman.
Is that in
Nice.
high school?
College.
In college?
Yeah. So my junior year, so I was 21, maybe 2021. So we practiced, did some practice shooting, and then took the test, and I made expert marksman, and
Nice.
yeah,
So you're a good shot.
yeah. I've made
what
expert
firearm
since
did you use?
M16.
9mm.
Oh,
maybe?
use the M9, the
yeah,
Beretta.
yeah. The M16, I was maybe 5 shots away from expert or marksman, whatever.
Nice. But then you and your husband have guns now, though.
Yes, we do. Don't ask me which ones, because
We'll
they
get to
all
that.
mix up with. I'm telling you,
That's
I was
coming up.
not a good guest.
I just
it
wanna
all
say,
mixes up with me. All the
Larry, I
numbers
hope you
and-
listen to this. Back when we first started the show, I got a call from her husband. He said, "Hey, a buddy of mine had a collection of guns, and they got this 9mm. You want to buy it?" I was like, "What is it?" "I'm not sure." And he gave me the manufacturer on the side. It was a High Point.
That's a-
I was like, "Nice,
Nice.
I'm good."
Oh man, have you seen Carnicon?
Yeah, no, Dynamic Pie Can.
Well,
concept.
yeah, the one Carnicon video. It was his
Yeah.
video of Dynamic.
I thought he did it with him.
It's Carnicon's video.
You sure he didn't post it?
Maybe it was just posted on his.
Yeah, with the tricked out High
The
Point.
high point
Yeah,
with the
Yeah.
aim point.
yeah.
And, yeah, Ben Stoker.
They made it a
Oh,
race
yeah.
gun. They made it
Yeah.
a competition gun.
Oh yeah, it was pretty slick.
Yeah, MSRP of
Of
4,200 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was badass.
So, have you been shooting anytime recently?
No, the last time was when you took me to shoot at the armory.
What did
in
we
Nashville.
shoot?
We shot the. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know how to spell it. Uzi.
Uzi. Oh yeah, oh, yeah. You shot a
Uzi.
full auto Uzi. With
Nice.
you.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that was cool.
How'd you really originally get into firearms?
Family.
Okay.
You know, just my grandparents had guns. My uncles were police officers.
Are you from Tennessee originally?
No, I'm actually from the West Coast. I'm from
Okay.
the San Juan Islands, just north of Seattle.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. And I think I was 8 years old.
Uh-huh.
Fired my uncle's off-duty gun was a Walther PPK. This is like in maybe, I don't know.
Was he James
Bond.
He looks a
Bond.
little James Bondish.
Okay.
Or they call him Jimmy.
Yeah.
in
Well,
the mountains.
he looks kind of like a combination of James Bond and somebody who worked with Tony Soprano. So, yeah. So that was the.
There's a lot of leeway in between
Yeah.
those two characters
Yeah.
that he could look like.
That's right. So yeah, that was the first gun I ever shot, and then it just kind of got more and more involved from there. So
Do you have any military or law enforcement experience?
I guess you are going to ask all the questions, aren't you?
Oh, crap. I did it again. Go for it.
Douchebag. Actually, I want to know what your first gun was. Do you remember what your first gun was?
yeah, my first gun was a Universal M1 carbine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I've got one of those.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool little gun.
It's badass, man. It's tip top. I don't have any problems with it.
Is that the
Shoots
one we
great.
shot on the Hickok Prairie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that gun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Universal. I mean, Universal isn't top of the line
No,
of the
but
M1s.
it's a good fun gun.
It shot good.
It's still
Yeah.
shoots
That's what
great.
we took out those garden gnomes with.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
I think that's kind of one of those guns too that was sort of ubiquitous back in the 80s and the early 90s, and now people are like, M1 carbine, what's that? And you go, well, it's basically like a semi-automatic 357, and then they go, like a 357 SIG, and you're like, no, totally different, man.
Yeah. That's cool. And did you tell us what your
The one we have now, which is
what was your first gun? What was your first gun that you remember?
like that
And it
I
can be what
owned?
you were issued.
Yeah, sure. Your first issued
The 9mm.
the Beretta.
The
yeah,
M9?
yeah, the Beretta.
Okay.
That they're finally going away for military law enforcement experience.
Military, Air Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Services.
You drove famous people around, didn't you?
Services.
I did. I had a really
fall
good
under a lot of different
deployment.
categories. Services.
I did.
Come on.
That's
Come on,
my
Sarah.
sister.
Sarah, were you the operator?
Sister.
Oh, jeez.
My sister.
I took care of the
operator.
DVs, distinguished visitors. If you know
That
what
wouldn't
I
even
mean.
I wasn't taking down that road.
What were you saying? Services. She
Services.
says DV. No,
like
that's
Sarah
DV.
from
Never mind.
Mayberry. I don't think Sarah from Mayberry was getting on her knees for anybody.
Oh God.
It's a good thing this isn't being videotaped. I'm red. What was the question?
Military. experience.
Oh, yeah. So, Air Force. I was in services, which is like morale and welfare in the Army. So, the fun stuff, the cool stuff that the military
Is
does.
that like that
that's what I
TV
did.
show that's out now that's got the three brothers that are.
I
Have
don't
you
know.
seen that one?
Uh-uh.
Never mind then. I'm not going to have any help describing it. I can't remember the name of it.
And then your military law enforcement.
No, I was a law enforcement cadet
Okay.
when I was a kid, and then I became a fireman.
Okay.
When I became of age.
It's
So
a first responder.
Yeah, when I was 12, I was
Yeah.
a police officer too. I mean, I was a cadet, and when I was in the Army, and I was also a fireman when I was 12.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
when you're 12,
I played pretend and all that.
that's
yeah.
awesome.
He
Of
was a
course, I
G.I.
was
Joe.
big into G.I. Joe then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. So when it comes to pop culture, Sherm, what is your go-to, whether it's a movie, a book, a song, TV show, magazine?
That involves firearms.
What's your go-to?
Oh boy, I think I'm gonna have to go. My go-to is gonna be Sublime DJs off of 40 Ounces to Freedom, maybe 1991ish.
They talked about guns in there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all of the DJs surely take a listen. Stop talking trash, or I'll come with my Smith and Wesson.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. Nice. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is a good obscure reference.
I had that album.
Nice.
I
Obscure is what I do.
don't remember a whole lot of it because of
All right.
what
Well,
I,
you know,
All right, I
there's-
got to give it to you.
a lot of stuff going on at that time.
Yeah.
It was a
That's-
good
It was
time.
college. You know?
That's
Yeah.
probably been the first one that stumped us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good one. I like that.
What about you, Sarah?
Syra.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Bingo.
yeah.
That's getting ready to start back up here.
I'm
in,
so
what,
excited.
March?
So into September
October.
usually,
Or,
right?
Oh,
yeah,
September?
October, something like
Yeah,
that.
I think they
Can't
start right
wait.
before Halloween. So.
Record.
I watched what's the Saints movie?
Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints. Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
too.
one that you can
Second
watch
one was
over
pretty
barrel.
good too. Did you see the second one?
sucked.
So
It was
all
pretty
right.
good. It wasn't as good as the first
It was
one.
good as the first one. But it was all right.
Blech.
Let's wait for the third.
You know what I
Third,
watched again the other day that I it's funny because I watch
Chitty
movies.
Chitty Bang Bang?
Yeah, no, because I watch stuff now that I watched before I got into firearms, and I'll see the gunplay, and I'll either be like, "Oh, that's the most retarded thing I've ever seen," or "Wow, they nailed it." Collateral
Oh yeah,
with Tom Cruise.
he trained at Gunsight for that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a video on YouTube that's the I don't know, training at Gunsight for Collateral or something like that.
It was like the first when he kills the two guys in the alley.
Yeah.
I was like, that's like everything that Jaeger taught us.
You know what's cool though
He, like,
is
raises his
the
arm
shooting
and he
from
shoots the
retention,
side.
and then
Yeah.
and then he does the double tap and the
Yeah.
shot to the head. Yeah, he actually which I think is kind of impressive because I think Tom Cruise is maybe a little bit of a puke, you know.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
But he actually learned all that with live ammo.
Wow.
And then they show, like when he did it with blanks, so that it would look exactly the same. And
good
and
for
I
him.
thought, wow, that was, and they actually show him, doing it with live ammo. So
Yeah. I was
Kudos to
impressed.
TC.
It was nice.
there's a lot of those guys that have trained at Gunsight. So
Yeah.
You know what I've been watching lately?
What's that?
While I'm biding my time until the Walking Dead and what's that Game of Thrones comes
Yeah.
back on. It's called The Killing. It's a Showtime. I think it's a Showtime original or a Netflix original series.
okay,
Really?
And it's really good. It's like they're in their 4th season right now.
I'll have
it's
to check
like
it out.
2 detectives. Now they're horrible detectives. They're terrible. It's
Yeah.
like you go through and you see their work that they're doing, and you're like, there's no way that 2 people could ever be police officers and still do it. But it's like a dark kind of Scully and Mulder.
Uh-huh.
But they're police officers investigating different type murders and stuff like that.
Nice.
But
Well, I'm not gonna-
they're like they'll go to somebody and they'll accuse them doing it, and it's like no, it's not that. And they'll go to somebody else and they'll start accusing them. It's funny to watch them do it, but it's still a pretty good show. I've been enjoying it. Of course, there's a little redhead on it that's
There's
smoking hot.
we get to the rub.
Yeah. Her
No
last-
pun intended.
The rub, is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Get to the rub. But the detective's name, the guy's, his last name's Holder.
Well,
It's like our sponsors,
Like our sponsor,
HG
yeah.
Press,
There you
Holder
go.
and Green Professional Real Estate Service. So if you're out there in TV land, watch The
Nepotism, there you
Killing.
go.
It's pretty good. It's on Netflix.
cool.
When it comes to firearms, and we'll exempt you from this one. We'll be nice. We won't make you sweat it out. Has there ever been a gun that you have owned or you currently own that there's a little bitty part of you that's kind of embarrassed to say, yeah, I have?
Or I had one.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a Taurus PT 100 in 40 caliber Smith & Wesson.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is that a
and
brick?
yeah, and I had it.
Isn't that the mock-up of the M9?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the frame mounted decocker.
Yeah.
And it was bright stainless steel. But here's the reason
weigh
why
like
I had
2
it.
pounds
Okay.
more.
Because I didn't think it was lame at the time.
Yeah.
But now in retrospect, it's super lame. But the reason I had it was because I really wanted to be like Richard Grieco on Booker.
Booker.
I mean, 21 Jump Street.
Grieco was a man.
Yeah. So that's the whole reason I had it.
Nice.
I mean, that was it. Like a dude was
Well,
like,
that's a legit reason to have it.
yeah. One of my buddies was
At the time.
was getting
But
deployed,
not
and he
to
was
still
like,
have
"Hey,
it.
I got to sell my pistol. You want to buy it?" And I said, "Yes, I do." Shut up and take my money. And then after I had it and realized that it was, a
Crap.
supreme, piece of crap, I just was like,
Well, I think it's hilarious how they made those because I think we may have, I don't know if we talked about this on the show before, but a lot of people don't realize Taurus bought the old Beretta factory in Brazil
and all the machinery.
and all the
Yeah, I think
machinery.
we did
so,
talk about that.
So
yeah.
they already had the molds and everything to make
Yeah.
the 92.
Yeah.
So they did.
And they were actually those early guns were actually
Were they?
Berettas. They were decent.
Yeah.
yeah. But once they
started
they started getting into a bigger company, and started coming out with when their catalog probably changed from 3 pages to like 35, in the span of a season. Like there was probably. I don't know if they had SHOT Shows like back in '88 or something, but it was probably like they had.
What year was
they
this?
had one whole side of the convention center, like it was all Taurus products. Like, holy smoke, what is going on here with
Nice.
Taurus?
Taking over the industry.
Yeah. So, I think that's kind of like when they went downhill because I remember people having those. I guess they were called like a PT 92 and a PT 99. I think had the adjustable sights. And those were good guns, and then they just
They
kind
just
of
went to crap after that.
turned into they probably after they got bought and sold by whatever Brazilian corporation
Right.
over and over again. So
Now, do you do equipment and gear and stuff too, or you just do strictly firearms?
Yeah, I do like holsters and support equipment and stuff.
What's
like
a
that, too.
lame piece of kit that you've come across?
Well,
I just feel like throwing somebody under the bus. I don't know.
I mean, I hate to jump
Your
on
left
like
hand's
the
pissy.
VersaCarry bandwagon, but I have a funny story about the VersaCarry.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so it was March of 2013. There was a survival expo here in Nashville. I don't know if you remember that. It was well,
we missed that one.
James Yeager was there, and I said, "Hey, I'll come down, and visit you." So, and if you've ever gone to one of those events with James, he signs a lot of autographs.
Yeah.
He really does. So, I got there, and he was like, "Oh man, hey, would you mind watching the booth for a minute?" And I said, "Sure." And he said, "I got to go, hit the head." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I'm standing there. And a guy comes up and says, "Are you James Yeager?" Or he said, "Are you Jim Yeager?" And I said, "Yes, I'm Jim Yeager." And he was like, "Well, sign an autograph for me, man. And it's good to meet you." So, and I look nothing like. I mean, we're white and have green eyes.
You're like a foot taller. And,
yeah. And so, I signed Jim Yeager, and he's
Jim.
like, "Thanks a lot, man." Well, this other guy was overhearing it. So James comes back from the bathroom, and then this dude comes up and says, like, "Are you guys into appendix carry at all?" And I said, "Yeah." And James was like, James said, "Yeah, like this," and shook his head like, "Nah."
That was the best impression of that I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, "Well, I use this VersaCarry thing," and he had like a Ruger LC9, stuck in this VersaCarry thing.
Appendix?
And but the thing is like when he took it out of his,
These are like asp sacks, right? The little-
it's like a peg.
No, it's that peg
with a
that
hook
sits
on
there,
it.
and it doesn't cover the trigger guard except for one
Oh,
side.
yeah.
If I gave it to you, you would think that it was one of those 3M adhesive hooks that
Right.
you use to
I know
like put in
exactly
your
what you're talking
closet.
I thought it was a sex toy when I first saw it.
Well, I mean, that's innovative,
Yes.
but okay. He
you
was
may have just saved that company, Zeke.
Hey, I know.
he was showing it to us, but what he didn't realize is that it was broken. Like when he was showing it to us, it was broken. The peg was already broken off of the thing, and it was just wobbling around and held on by a little bit of plastic
But
flashing.
he thought it was supposed to be that way.
He thought that that was it. Like when this thing's, when he pulled that thing out, it's going to have that plug in the end. So it's going to make a really loud noise.
Wow.
Which it still might get the job done.
Did he want you to autograph it?
No, I just smile and nod a lot. I kind of like.
So you
subscribe to
impersonated Jim Yeager once in your life, huh?
I've done it a couple times. I'll be honest.
Jim Yeager.
James knows. I tell him.
Oh, I'm sure you
I do
told
it.
him, right? Yeah,
oh, I
right
do. I
after.
tell him. Yeah. So
That's hilarious.
he hates it. Like I wouldn't recommend anybody call him that because
Jim? Yeah,
he's
no.
liable to. He'll
Say
split you from your face to the back of your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really will.
Yes.
People think,
I agree.
oh, he just talks. No, he'll do it. Yeah, he'll do it.
He's one of the nicest guys I've met in the industry, but I never want to cross him.
Yeah.
No, he is.
Yeah.
He absolutely is one of the nicest guys in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really subscribe to like the John Farnham, like avoidance, deterrence, and de-escalation thing in general, and about like other people in the firearms industry, in specific, just because like people say, well, what do you think about da 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 da?
Yeah.
And it kind of turns into like a downstream like talking thing.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
it's like talking religion. Yeah, you're not going to win.
Yeah, and people, now that we have the internet, the rationalization that people use for why they don't like somebody or why they won't buy somebody's widget is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And if somebody makes a good piece of equipment, but they're a prick in general, like, okay, like,
Should be
go
irrelevant.
on with your prick self.
You
like,
you like the equipment or not?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not going over your house to like play Yahtzee with you and drink beer. Like I'm here to buy, equipment.
Yeah.
So if you have equipment, we're cool.
Yeah.
If you
We're
don't,
good.
yeah. All right. So
has there ever been a gun you've had that you got rid of that you wish you had back?
yeah, I think in my life, I tried to figure it out one day, and I think I've had 8 Glock 19s, and I only have.
Kind of leaning towards those, huh?
Yeah, and it's kind of I'm like a sucker for like people with a sob story. They'd be like, man, like I wish I could afford something like that. Da, da, da. And I'll be like, you got $300? Like, you're a cop.
I'll
like,
hook you up.
like you have kids. I feel bad. Here, do it. So yeah, but I would say that also I had a Remington 870 with a fully rifled barrel
Oh wow,
that I really wish I still had. And I actually traded it for tattoo work.
nice.
So the guy that I traded it to still has it. That was 20-some years ago.
Do you remember which one
Wow.
you traded it for?
Yeah, it was a big one on my back.
Oh, you got one on your back?
I actually got it on February 28th, 1997, which was the day of the North Hollywood
You've
shootout.
got a full back piece for
Yeah, like 12
$870?
hours. Mhm.
That's a pretty good deal.
Well, this was in 97, you know.
we
the
haven't
prices
seen it
were
yet
different
either. We
now.
don't know what it looks
Yeah, it
like.
could be like squiggly lines.
It's actually a revolver.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
The funny thing about it is there was a armored truck involved in that robbery, and the armored truck that was there, that's the company that I worked for when I worked on the armored trucks, and I did that for 10 years.
That's
The
crazy.
coinky dink.
So yeah, and I actually took a day off, to get this tattoo work done. So I'm like, oh, cool, don't have to worry about armored trucks today. And then that happened. And I thought whoa, what are the chances?
That's crazy.
So glad I wasn't at work that day. Yeah.
So bucket list gun, Sarah. We'll start with you.
Now this one,
What is the next gotta have firearm or maybe piece of equipment that you're just dying to have?
I liked that Glock that you let me shoot. I think it was
19?
Yancey's.
Oh, the 17. Yeah, yeah. Glock
The purple
17.
one?
Yes. I liked that. I want mine in pink, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're a pink kind of girl.
Yeah. I'll color
hook you up
fill it
with that.
for you for cheap.
We'll get Sean to Cerakote it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
That's not a bad
Sean with Gun Runners custom
Finishes.
finishes. Yeah,
What about you? Bucket list.
Sherm.
Money's no object.
I don't know.
And laws are no object.
It sounds ridiculous, but really would like to have one of those, like a cut down, like a Mad Max 12 gauge shotgun pistol. Like a cut down double
They have
barrel
those.
shotgun. Yeah,
They have those.
yeah,
What's
they're
that?
like a SBS
Yeah.
or AOW or something.
Serbu
Yeah,
makes them.
Serbu.
Yeah, but not a pump action one like Tubbs had
Oh,
on
okay.
Miami Vice, like a 2-shot side by side
Oh,
shotgun.
okay, gotcha.
Like
like
a
Like
stagecoach
coach gun.
gun.
Coach gun.
yeah, but like that long,
Is that that long?
like
Nice.
Mad Max size.
Nice.
Yeah, no stock.
That'd
Didn't
be
we
cool.
see somebody had one of those?
I'm not going to talk about it because it was illegal. No, I'm
Well, I
just
know, but we're not saying names. But we did. Somebody we
Yeah.
know has one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
yeah.
wear it like.
But it's
And
not illegal.
I told him because he was like, "Should I sell this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you need to either talk to the ATF or dump it in a lake somewhere."
In pieces.
keep cutting it.
Yeah.
Keep cutting it.
He got it when he worked as a manager at a bar, and he confiscated it from somebody.
Nice.
And he didn't know it was illegal. He's had it for I don't know how many years. So yeah,
That's what I would get, and I would get a leather thigh rig made for it.
nice.
And I'm not an open carry guy, but if I had that
Savoy
thing,
leather.
Savoy leather can make you one.
I would open carry it
Yeah, that's
out
awesome.
at Sam's Club.
Yeah,
Sam's Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody could see.
Yeah, when I'm there buying
Kiss
my
their
canned
pants.
food
Getting your 2-month supply
of
of
beans,
toilet paper and beans
yeah, toilet paper and
Beans
Band-Aids,
toilet paper.
and pork rinds.
and ibuprofen.
now there's something else, and there's another reason why I'm sweating besides the fact that it's a little warm up here.
I'm not
Because
sweating. Is
you have
anybody else
another
sweating?
career outside of firearms,
I do.
and I'm really scared of that career.
Everybody is.
Yes, as you've seen from the text from Scott, because Scott's like, "Hey, go to my buddy Sherm. He's a dentist. He's a dentist, by the way." And I'm like, I'm
Really?
yeah. And I told him, I said, ask him if he's got sedation dentistry because I've got to have it.
Yeah.
But it's weird because I'm not tooting my own horn. That's just I can take a lot of pain.
Zeke never toot his own horn, does he, Sarah?
No, never. But I can
No.
take a lot of pain. Joints outside
Toot.
the body. You can,
Toot.
you can
There's
stick me
toot.
But teeth are
There's
different.
another toot.
you can stick me with needles, whatever. But
Toot.
if I get the littlest prick in my mouth,
What?
Yeah.
The
no, I mean like needle. If I get a needle,
Sarah, did
stuck
you know
in my
that about
mouth,
your brother?
I had no idea.
He's
prick
come
of a
out on the
needle.
show.
I can't-
Episode
it's
81 coming
It's not
out.
that like my pain receptors are going crazy. I don't
Look
know.
at him
It's just
trying
an
to
awkward
change
feeling.
subject now.
It's a
But
different
anyway,
kind of pain.
We talked about maybe doing a first for gun radio.
Yeah.
And I've got a tooth that 8 years ago I had a root canal done on, and I never got the crown.
And it fell apart.
Well, it's starting to.
Yeah.
And it started to ache this week, and I'm
Okay.
like, wow, Sherman's coming on.
So we could take this and a
Yeah.
hammer and just
Split it in half. And
Split it in half. We'll take,
Yeah.
And do
we'll
an
take my
on-air-
Dax Bruner, Cantu Bruner zombie 50 cal pin. And
Now, if
we'll-
I come to you to get it done, can we film it?
Sure. It's up to you.
That would be no. I don't know.
Yeah, hey,
I think it'd be
make
awesome.
sure you tell me I'm bringing the camera. We are filming that bitch.
What kind of sedation could I do?
We have options.
Hammer to the skull.
Well, I like to use a sock full of quarters.
Okay.
I'm kind of a Kevin Smith fan myself, so yeah,
Right on.
Yeah, because I
Kevin
got to
Smith.
get that fixed. So
I'll fix it.
I'll come. Since you're a gun
I
guy,
think we
you
should
got
do the string on
I
the
think-
doorknob.
Well, that probably wouldn't work for that kind of tooth.
You don't think?
No,
No, because
if it's
I
a root
had
canal treated tooth. It's
I had this one pulled for the
I mean, you
same
could
reason.
really get like
See,
a
I didn't,
wire or
I
something.
didn't
instead
learn
of
my
string.
lesson. This one I had to have pulled for
We
the
could use
same
like
reason.
piano wire.
it wouldn't work.
Still
The
wouldn't work?
dentist
Yeah.
had to get
Damn.
his knee up on the chair, and he was like, and my
Everybody
head's
always says
doing
that, but
this.
I mean, there isn't. I've actually never do that. I mean, I've never had.
Well,
to
hopefully
do
I can
that,
still get a
so.
crown put on because only a little part of it broke.
Well,
We're gonna
as long as
pepper
it's not
spray 'em,
abscess.
too.
We'll-
Oh,
You're
that's
making
not-
me start to
figure it out.
sweat. I think
Yeah,
I have
I'm
some
just-
anxiety too.
Yeah, I thought about going to Dental Bliss. They're like, oh, we make it wonderful, blah 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 blah.
sell a couple guns and you'll be able to afford it.
Yeah, and then I found out how much they were. It's not like
Yeah.
a regular dentist where they charge your insurance and you're good. No, you got to pay a lot more.
They have special services.
Yeah, services.
Services. There we go.
You might get a little prick in your mouth.
Well, I heard that you could get you get a hand massage, and I think they do your nails. and
Are you
stuff.
serious? Like
Yeah.
that's
Wow.
legit? Oh,
Yeah, I
wow.
mean it's the dental spa concept is kind of a cool thing, but it's not really my scene,
Yeah.
as you can tell. I mean,
See,
can-
I
you see
would
me
be
doing that
more
kind of
You're
relaxed.
into no pain, no gain kind of.
I would be more relaxed
Philosophy,
going in
right?
there. You got the beard, you got the tattoos. I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy's my kind of guy. I can probably deal with.
I don't really look like your regular dentist.
You
No.
wear long sleeves.
Sometimes I don't even own a polo shirt.
Really?
Nope. Nope. James would make me wear one when I taught, but that's it. Yeah. Actually, I was eating lunch today, and I went at lunch break after I went to the range, and I drove through the drive up at Panda Express.
Uh-huh.
When I got up there, the kid that was working at the cash register said,
They have a
"Holy
drive-through?
Yeah, the one in Rivergate does.
Myrna
yeah.
does, too.
He said, "Holy smoke, you have nice tattoos." And I said, "Thanks, man." And he goes, "Do you mind if I ask what you do?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm a dentist." And he goes, "Does anybody give you shit for having tattoos?" And I said, "I'm a doctor, dude. I do whatever the I want."
Right
And he goes, "That's awesome." I said, "Yeah, you go to school for 10 years too. You can pretty much write your own ticket,
Hey, you said
Well,
you're a
depends on
doctor.
what school you go
did,
to.
Did people give you hell after hangover?
No, because
You're not a doctor. You're a dentist.
I mean, I don't really do I do fillings and crowns and all that kind of stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm primarily an exodontist. Like, that's what I do is take out teeth and drain abscesses.
Oh, okay.
So,
You can't write prescriptions.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can write.
You are the
What do you say?
the hangover.
Left-handed
We're gonna-
druggie. Oh,
We're going to have our own hangover. You're Zach Galifianakis.
Oh no,
I'm Bradley Cooper.
yeah.
And you're the doctor.
I get to be
I don't know
Stu.
what that
Well,
guy's
you got to
name
get the
was.
tattoo.
Stu?
though.
Stu, yeah.
You got to get the face tattoo.
Okay,
Who had the monkey play with his penis? Oh, that's the Asian guy.
Hey, Gabe can be the Asian guy.
Oh, yeah.
be
Okay,
Gabe.
we're gonna do it. I'll set something up. Who do I call?
you call my office number. You want-
We could end
call
up having a
his
viral
freaking
video if I
receptionist, dude.
take a Valium or something and I start talking crazy afterwards, like all those.
yeah,
other
you might
virals.
regret that.
Yeah,
People say
probably.
crazy stuff.
We're going to have you do a gun review right after.
right after.
Yeah.
This is VP9. It's great.
That's great. But I'm going to do a disclaimer. This is left hand. I have safety cleared and checked everything. Zeke, do your gun review.
You probably would just fall asleep or throw up.
Yeah, probably.
That's the most likely
Great.
outcome.
You'll be
that.
tapping your tooth with it.
All right, we gotta stop talking teeth. It's hurting just thinking about it.
Yeah.
So, revolver. We were talking about. We were gonna go into kind of the weird, quirky things why people like revolvers.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with, like, it sounds weird, but like the romanticism of it.
Uh huh.
Like everybody had that fake stainless steel cap gun with the fake plastic stag handles
That's
when they were a
true,
kid. And when you pick up a revolver, you kind of feel like that.
Yeah.
It's nostalgia.
It exactly.
Yeah.
And-
Dirty Harry,
yeah.
Cowboys.
Right,
Cowboys
Cowboys,
Indians,
you
Lone
know,
Ranger.
Dick Tracy, like
Yeah. Your old gumshoes.
detectives and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, and I think
Barney Miller.
yeah, and it's unfortunately, the stigma that's gone on for years and years and years that we all hear and joke and bitch about the idiot at the gun store saying, well, little lady, this is the gun you need for self-defense is the, whatever it is, Charter Arms Pink Lady, that's the 5-shot stainless steel revolver with pink grips, and because it's easier to shoot or whatever. That's all not true. I mean, it's 5 small, light frame, aluminum or alloy frame revolvers are hard to shoot. I mean, they will, people. That's one of the most common emails that I get at Revolver Science is, this air weight is kicking my ass. Like, what kind of grips do you recommend? I'm like, just put wad cutters in it. Everybody wants to put like 135 grain, like almost low level 357 loads in it.
Right.
Like, just put 148 grain wad cutters in it. They're mild, they're cheap, they all shoot to the. I haven't yet shot a wad cutter of any make out of any of my 1 7/8 inch or 2 1/8 inch barreled revolvers that doesn't shoot point of aim, point of impact. 148 grain wad cutter.
Nice.
They're cheap, and you can practice with and shoot them. And they come in boxes of 50.
Yeah.
So instead of having to buy
Speaking
things
of
in boxes of
grips,
20.
have you tried the new Ergo Delta grip?
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I have in the pipeline right now for Revolver Science. That's one. The other thing is the Smith & Wesson Model 69. That's that new L-frame 44
Oh,
Magnum.
yeah. That they just came out with at SHOT, right?
Yeah. I have, 44 mag and 44 special is a lot more expensive and not common so I kind of buy it when I see it, and then I, shoot it off and then hope that I find some more. So that's only got about 200 rounds through it at this point. But that's a cool gun. And the whole reason I bought it was I thought like it would be a cool pack gun, if I went to areas that had that you wanted to shoot a bear with or a cat. Like a big cat.
We got bears and cats around here.
Yeah. So I think it would.
They're not uncommon.
Yeah, it would do a number on anything.
Well, and talking about bear gun, that's one of my bucket list guns is getting the Ruger Super Red Hawk 454 Casull.
Yeah.
Oh, I want that gun so bad. And they had one at the Nashville Armory used that came in.
I know who has it.
They bought it?
Yeah.
I want that
My
gun.
boy Smiley bought it.
You think he'd let me do a video with it?
He probably would. You want to maybe have him on the show, but
Yeah, we could do
but
that.
think of
We'll have him there at the
think
range
of
when we shoot it.
He's not a what do they call that?
Doesn't like to share his toys?
Well, he's not going to sit here like I am and just ramble on.
Uh-huh.
Like you'd be like, Smiley, tell us
So
about
we
your
get-
guns, and he'd say like,
I have
I got a
guns.
lot of guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
We've had people on the show like that before.
yeah.
Those are-
So
those are-
he's a cool dude, but and he knows his info for
I
sure.
like his nickname,
Smiley.
Smiley.
Is it because he never smiles?
Never smiles. Yeah.
I was going to say,
Dean.
if his personality's like that, he can't smile much.
Yeah. And
He's not much of a
his
talker.
forearms are about that big around.
Popeye, huh?
Yeah.
So the 454 to him is probably like a 22.
Yeah, he's got like honest to God has like 23-inch biceps.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's and he's probably one of those dudes. I don't know what he carries. I think last time I saw him, he had a Glock 36, but he probably carries a Ruger LCP. And
Yeah.
Appendix.
yeah, if the gun goes dry, he's just going to punch it through their chest, literally, and come out the other side.
Nice.
Like a Tarantino movie or something.
Yeah,
But I'm really into like a lot of the quirky large caliber revolvers. Like
Yeah.
I shot the 500 last year at the Iraq veteran shoot.
yeah,
I fell in love.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it hurt all night. I mean,
Yeah.
not hurt pain, but it was a little sore.
yeah.
But still, just that power in that. They're
Yeah,
fun. I love
well,
them.
the difference between shooting like large caliber revolvers and shooting like say service type pistols or action type pistols.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do these drills where you're trying to be Bob Vogel, and you're drawn and you're trying to shoot off 2 shots, then speed load and shoot off 3 more, do fast drills, things like this. So you're actively, your eyes are focused on the front sight and you're watching the front sight through the recoil cycle.
Sure.
Like if I just hand you a revolver and say, here you go, and you've never done it before, that the same rules don't apply.
Right.
There is no quick follow-up shot with a 500 Smith & Wesson. You could shoot it fast, but it's not the same kind of thing because that gun is going, almost
All
Going
over the
north.
place.
vertical.
Yeah.
It's going north, yeah.
So it comes back down, and you can press as soon as you have a good acceptable sight picture again. But it's not the same kind of thing.
It takes a while.
it's rising
Yeah.
a little bit and you're pushing it back down. You know.
Well,
It's
and the
not-
flash is so big too that
Yeah.
you kind of got to readjust.
But they have, like 500 specials that are, a downloaded version.
Oh, okay. I
That
didn't
still
know that.
shoots the same, it's just the difference between like a 38 and
Yeah,
a
it shoots
357.
the same bullet, just
Lower
toned
velocity.
down a little bit.
Yeah, there's two
you don't get that
revolvers
kick.
that I had in my hands ready to buy for a good deal that I held off on, and somebody bought them for the same deal, and I kicked
Yeah.
myself. Somebody at a gun show, when we went to Murfreesboro, the gun show that we did with Gabe,
Yeah.
guy walked up with a Model 29, pristine, blued, looked like it had never been shot, in the wooden box with the felt stuff. He only wanted $500 for it.
Really?
And I was like,
Yeah.
let me get your number.
Yeah.
And I waited a couple days. I called him. It was gone.
You should have said,
Yeah.
"Let me get you $500."
Yeah.
That's what you should have said. That was a good show for us because I landed a sub 2000 there.
That's right, I forgot about that.
And
Yeah.
there was another guy walking around. He had one of those Berettas 92 FSs.
Yeah.
that he was selling for like $400.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you asking about the ergo grip.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
another
yeah.
thing that I've got, in the pipeline. And for the people that don't know
Delta
about
grip.
that, yeah, the Delta grip. It's really weird. Like when I first saw it, I thought it looked like a combination of like a Nautilus, like a Nautilus shell.
Yeah, it does.
Like the mollusks.
A conch shell.
Yeah,
conch shell.
and like a Sporiva inhaler. Like for COPD. That's what I thought. I thought, what in the hell is this
I
thing?
thought it was like a diaphragm or something.
Yeah, it's weird looking. It looks like
I was like, Ernie, what are you showing us here, buddy?
Yeah, it looks like a medical device. It doesn't really look
Yeah,
like
it
a
does.
pistol grip. And the whole concept behind that thing was they were trying to come up with a grip that would allow a revolver shooter to replicate the angulation of their pistol.
Mm-hmm.
And when you actually pick the thing up, you go, "Oh wow, this feels
good.
all right," And one of the experiments that I'm doing is, taking that gun and shooting it with that grip, with the Delta grip, and then shooting it with a conventional grip, and then actually we're taking stop motion of
Oh,
it
okay. Slow
to
mo
see, like if the recoil impulse is any different, in one person's hands.
See if it redirects it.
And I feel like it does.
It looks
And
like it
so-
would be pushing it more inward instead of
back.
Yeah, back.
There's less rotation to it. So
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot it with about the hottest things that I can find to shoot out of that
pack
gun.
that up. Hell
Yeah. So we're gonna shoot some Buffalo Bore 158 grain
Oh, dang.
plus P's out of it just to see how fun it is.
So you guys are doing videos also?
We're kind of in the early stages of it. I use one of my buddies. You guys know him, Scott,
Yeah.
from Ronin Tactical
Ronin.
Consulting. Yeah,
He made my holster I got. Yeah.
Yeah.
My appendix carry holster. Yeah.
yeah. So he's real handy with all the tech side of stuff that I'm not super computer literate. So
Yeah. Well, hell, man, we'd love to do some videos with you too.
yeah, it'd be
We'll
fun.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Even the dental one.
Especially the dental one.
Sarah has to leave. She
I do.
has to bolt. So thanks for coming on.
Sure.
You can hear us, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you.
You don't have to have the headset on.
No, but I felt weird talking into a mic without my ears
That's your,
set.
that's your ears on.
Yeah.
Sarah, it was nice to meet you. Thanks
Nice
for
to meet
putting
you
up
too.
with our bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I
We were just
enjoyed it.
fun, and you know
Thank
that.
you. Yes. Yeah. I'm used to it. I'm Zeke's
And
sister.
Every holiday that
understand.
I see her, I'm going to have to hear about a little prick in my mouth.
That's the next card that you've
Yeah,
got to
put
have
it on
made
the
for
card.
him.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
great.
Oh, my God.
Maybe something at the wedding that's coming up too. You could.
Oh, I'm not going
Yeah.
to do that with family in front of
No.
him.
Please no.
No.
What?
All right, we got to get back on task so I don't have to
Okay.
edit the
Nice
out
to
of
meet
this.
you guys.
Nice to meet you. I'm gonna send them probably everything that I collect, and I can think of a couple of things already that could be good improvements for
Yeah.
version 2.0.
Product conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, just there's a few things, J-frames vary so much that there's a couple things that they could do to it that would make it a little better long term.
Right.
So, because the nut that actually attaches to the grip screw isn't captive; it's not held in there. It's just got serrations on it, so it's just held into the rubber basically by friction.
So they don't have a top.
Correct. Yeah, and the other thing is if it
part of
had like a plastic bushing around, to surround the screw, then the grip, because it's rubber, it wouldn't be able to compress. You know, you can turn that screw and suck that grip in, and then it opens up seams on the front and on the back of it because it's pulling it in.
Right.
So if you put a plastic pedestal underneath that to limit, you know, that compression underneath that screw,
It's going to be more secure. that way.
yeah, and then you could put Loctite on it and it wouldn't slip.
Nice.
So
What is your favorite revolver?
my favorite revolver is the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, the J-frame Bodyguard, which is it's a concealed hammer. It's not a, you know, completely hammerless.
Right.
So it just has a hump
380.
back.
Right.
357.
Oh, they make a 357?
Yeah, they make it 357 and then 38 special. The original one was, you know, the Bodyguard 38. which
Okay,
was-
the 38, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the semi-auto.
No, not that thing. That came out later.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thing's been around probably since the maybe 60s for sure, maybe even the 50s.
So you like the covered hammer?
Yeah, I use that gun.
A lot better for concealing and
Yeah, and I use that as an ankle gun when I worked on the armored trucks.
Okay.
I did that for 10 years, and I wore that gun on my ankle every day. And you know, I bought it in '93, and I still have it. I mean, and it's probably got 10 or 12,000 rounds through it at this point. And it's-
EDC check.
Oh, got my. You go guess first.
Guess? What
Guessed.
you just pulled out?
Glock 19.
Oh.
Okay. Anything else? Knives.
Oh, me?
Yeah, what do you...
Oh,
yeah.
I have a shield, several knives, a blackjack.
Throw it out. Let's hear it. Let's hear what you got.
I have this is made by Andy's Leather.
What is that? Oh, that's a little blackjack.
Blackjack.
Nice.
And then I've got.
It's on his keychain. He's got a blackjack. That's very cool.
That's what he's going to use to knock me
I've
out.
got
for
a-
the tooth fixing.
a Smith & Wesson shield in a Tucker cover-up.
Tucker cover up. Smith.
I've got a Emerson CQ8.
Nice. And the guys, this is a dentist, by the way.
I've got
This is the
dentist.
most badass dentist I've ever met.
This is who you want to.
I've got a
for your
Spyderco waved Endura.
As long as he's not using those knives for the dental work.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I see a little blood on that.
I've got,
like
I've
maybe
got
an enamel.
my Pelican
Got your light.
LED.
Got your torch.
I've got my spare mag in my Elite Survival Systems pocket mag pouch. And then I've got my, what else do I got? Oh, I got my Red Wing Cowboy wallet and
Loaded with his doctor money.
that's right, and a Swiss Army knife. That's
The little baby.
Do we
Swiss
have a
Army knife.
Doctor Who fan?
oh, of course,
Ah.
that's my TARDIS. I take it everywhere.
Very cool. TARDIS.
What about you, Left Hand? What you got?
Pendants in the Glock 23, ankle in the Glock 27. Got my Cantu Bruner zombie pin.
Nice.
In
Cal.
case a contract breaks out that I need to sign. I've got my Maxpedition bag. I'm carrying it, and it's got all my other shit in it. My lights and my knives. My knife, which we all know that I carry.
Yeah. The neck knife?
No. What's the other one I carry?
Todd. No.
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't help.
The knife.
The knife. Oh, no.
The knife.
You hadn't talked about it in a while. I
knife.
forgot.
What
The
is it?
Tool Logic
The Tool Logic, man.
knife.
The
with,
Tool Logic,
with the
that's-
flashlight, which is cool.
Flashlight, I don't,
fire
it's in the
starter.
bag.
One
So
of
I'm not
those
gonna,
ones.
Fire
I'm not
starter,
gonna-
which is cool.
Yeah.
The sharpener, which is cool, and the
rafe whistle. I don't have. It's in the bag. I'm not gonna pull it out.
I've got my Glock 30 in my Savoy leather Ron Burgundy holster. I've got,
Which is awesome.
oh yes, stay classy. I've got my Fox Karambit, which
Oh.
I freaking love this thing. Thank you to the listener that gave me that. This is one of my favorite knives. Wow, I'm throwing stuff. I've got my new key bar.
Oh, I've got my key bar too.
Yeah, did you put it together?
Well, I still got to add some things to it, but I just wanted to quickly, because I wanted to start carrying it.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and put those tools that he sent with us, the
Uh-huh.
screwdriver stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got that all set up with it.
They're really cool. Have you seen them?
Uh-uh.
It's
It does away with your.
so it's got two little metal pieces, and
Yeah.
then you take the screws and you put your keys on either side, and they flip out like this.
Oh, okay.
And takes away all the clanginess of your keys.
Sweet.
I love it. At first, when I first got it, I started putting my keys in there. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube. I mean, you got to like get them just right. You got to make sure they fold in on each other.
Right.
It's kind of a pain, but once it's done, it's cool. And
It's called a key bar?
Key bar. Keybar.
Okay.
And one of my favorite things about it is you flip out the key, like if it's a door or a car key, you've got more leverage, so everything's easier to turn. And like our front door lock is a little tricky.
Yeah.
But with that thing, I just crank it and it unlocks it, locks it. It's pretty cool.
It's like a multi-tool.
Yeah.
It
For your
turns your
keys.
keys into a multi-tool.
Sweet.
Yeah. And then I've
Setup.
got
Your Cantu Bruner.
I've got my Cantu Brunner
You got your
Skull
Cantu
50 cow pin back for my wife, but she wants it back. So and that's it. That's all I got.
That's all you packing? Mm-hmm. One more thing I wanted to ask you. Have you gotten into the what do they call it? The cowboy shooting.
Cowboy action shooting?
Cowboy action shooting, yeah. Have you done any of that?
Not, you know,
Being a revolver guy.
yeah, like I don't, you know, belong to the single action shooting society or anything like that. I mean, not like I wouldn't. I think that the closest matches are Manchester and
War Trace, Manchester.
Yeah.
If you could choose your name, what would it be?
I've, you know, there's so many people that are like Doc something because of Doc Holliday, you know, like I
Well,
would
you
really,
are a doctor, then.
yeah, I think I would just be Doc House. I mean, like,
The
'Cause-
Tooth Man.
right, yeah, I mean, because you know, Dr.
You would
House,
be like Tooth Fairy or something like that, or
no, probably not. Maybe,
Tooth
yeah,
Root Canal.
the Tooth,
Doctor Root Canal.
the Tooth Reaper.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Now I'm
We
not
could come
gonna
up with
call
a
your
badass
office now.
name.
I'm not going there. So we'd like to thank our sponsors, ICE Training, ICEtraining.us. Rob Pincus and all his training over there.
And make sure you check out his Fox and Friends interview. You can go to his Facebook page. He's got links to that there. And we'll be posting to our website also. I'd like to thank Holder and Green Professional Real Estate Services, HG Press, for all your Middle Tennessee real estate needs. Give those gun-friendly guys and girls a call. And especially if you're a vet, they specialize in VA loans, can help you get hooked up with the right people for those. You can call them at area code, toll free.
Toll free.
Toll free. 1-800-615-1840. Extension
Pew 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 pew.
2222.
And don't forget our new bandwidth sponsor, SDI, Sonora and Desert Institute, where you can go through distance learning online courses and get a gunsmith certificate.
It's your gunsmith, all kinds of different smithing classes that they have there. So
Yep, and they're
check them out.
starting to rack up some future externship programs with some big name companies. So once you're done, you have to do an externship to get completed with everything. It's
Or
kind of
you
like your
can.
final, and they're doing that.
And-
you could also just do a build. They have build
You don't-
modules.
yeah, you
just
don't have
buy
to-
our 80%.
Don't even have to be
That
a
comes
student.
from them, and then you learn how to build it.
You can
and
buy
build
the
it out.
Talking Lead upgrade kits
Yeah.
for your ARs and soon your 1022 builds.
Just go to sdi.edu to get signed up with them.
Like to thank Cantu Bruner Designs. CantuBrunerDesigns.com for pins and all kinds of other. What do they do? Don't they do other stuff? I always think they do other stuff.
Send your bullet casings to them. He'll make something cool.
Like these cool 50 cal zombie pin that I've got.
The skull pin.
The stealth one that he sent us. The
ghost pin.
ghost pin.
Yeah, that was
It was
pretty cool.
badass 308. Yeah. That
Yep.
was sweet.
And Savoy Leather, of course, we talked about him earlier, can pretty much put anything on a leather holster as long as it's not vulgar. That's his one rule, but incredible work. Incredible leather work.
And guys, the contest is still going on.
Yes.
It seems to have slowed down on our entrance.
I think we're up to about 15 to 18
Yeah,
pictures.
so you guys go to our website, our Facebook page, really. All the rules and everything set up there. If you've got a Talking Lead t-shirt, take a picture of that in some kind of cool, awesome, weird, wild, badass way. Send it to us. Make sure you hashtag Talking Lead t-shirt or we'll never be able to find it.
Yep.
You can do that on Instagram. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter. Send those in. If you don't have a shirt, you want to get one, go to 1776united.com. And we've got some other cool shirts there, too, that not only we designed, but 1776 United designed. Got another cool idea. Hopefully that one's going to be coming soon.
Yep. That'll be cool. And also All or Nothing Tattoo Studios, the most award-winning tattoo studio in the world down there in Atlanta. AllOrNothingTattoo.com. And they're very...
Stranglehold Merch.
.com. They're very gun-friendly merchandise store. Strangleholdmerch.com.
We do a lot of gun-friendly people.
Yes, we do. We have to. They have to be gun friendly.
So Leadheads, patronize our sponsors
Yep.
because they make all this happen.
And do the T-shirt contest. I mean, there's 15
It's
people.
an AR-15,
There-
guys.
And there's other
Up for
prizes
grabs.
too. There's 5 prize spots, so you got a 5 in 15 chance right now.
As it stands right now, and that's going to be in September, right?
September 15th is the deadline to get the pictures in.
September 15th is the deadline. Get the pictures in, then we're going to do the announcement.
Well, the
sometime after
following
that.
show, we'll do the judging. So
All right, so time's running short. So if you don't
Yes,
have the
sir.
shirt, you need to factor in time to get your shirt shipped to you.
Well, Sherm, appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on the show,
Thanks for having me.
and we look forward.
Damn
to the-
nice having you,
to-
Sherm.
Thank you.
Looking forward to doing some more stuff with you.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if we're looking forward to all the stuff we're going to do.
Oh yeah, we are. Absolutely.
You are. But, and as always, left hand, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.